So we got our basic variables and non-basic variable in the previous problem. So let's just write it over here. Basic variable where in the previous stage, the basic variable were S1 and S2, and the non-basic variable were X1 and X2. And the basic variable values were S1 was having the value 1, S2 was having the value 4, and we treated X1 to be 0 and X2 to be 0. That we did in the previous problem. Now you carefully observe. The step number 3 is very important. Step number 3 and step number 4. Basically step number 3, because step number 3 is going to talk about the construction of simplex table. Construction of simplex table. Construction of simplex table. Okay. First of all, you have to learn about the format of the table. You know that every table has its own format. So you just store this format in your mind. Wherever in whatever situation you want to deal with the simplex methodology, you have to keep in mind the format. Keeping the format in mind will help you to construct the table very easily. So first of all, I'm writing some symbols in the white page, and then I'm going to explain the meaning of these symbols. So first of all, let me give you the format. I'm going to construct the simplex table 1. Simplex table 1. And the format is, first I'm going to write Cj. Below this, I'm going to write Xb. Besides XB, I'm going to write CB and B. I'm keeping some blank space over here. Somewhere here, I'm going to write minimum positive ratio, whose formula is actually XB by pivot column. Everything will be explained, don't worry, and don't panic. Just in this particular line, if you consider a line over here, below Cj, we have written XB, keep some blank space, and here you write Zj. Then below Zj, you write a quantity which we denote by Cj minus Zj. This is the format of the simplex table. If you want to construct simplex table 2, if we need to construct the simplex table 2, we will try to get the same format. So we will write Cj and Cb, B, XB. Here I will write XB by pivot column. Below this, I'm going to write, this means actually I'm going to calculate a minimum positive ratio. And in this column, I'm going to calculate Zj and Zj minus Cj. If you ask me, this is the format. Okay. So if you ask me, sir, how do you know that simplex table 2 will be required? I don't know. I don't know whether it will be required or not. I said if required, the format will be same. Just I'm trying to show you the format. You just keep in mind, you practice the format at home. Try to write the format again and again. Now the format will be clear to you once you know the meaning. Meaning is very simple. In the blank space here in the column, the blank space is there. I am going to write all the variables that are present in the system. X1, X2, S1, S2, sequentially, not haphazardly. Serially, in serial order, I am going to write them. Okay. Here also, I'm going to write the same thing. X1, X2, S1, S2. What is Cj? Cj are the per unit contribution of these variables into the objective function. What is the coefficient of x1 in the new objective function? The coefficient is 2, same as the old objective function. Coefficient of x2 in the new objective function is 3, same as the old objective function. Coefficient of S1 in the new objective function is 0. Coefficient of S2 in the new objective function is 0. So here we are going to do the same thing. Here we are going to do the same thing. 2, 3, 0, 0. Okay. Now what is B? B stands for basic variable. And XB stands for value of the basic variable, value of B. And CB stands for coefficient of basic variable in the objective function. So now you see, that our basic variables are S1. So we are going to write those basic variables here, S1 and S2. What are the values of S1 and S2? We have just found that the values of S1 is 1 and value of S2 is 4. What are the coefficients of these basic variables in the objective function? S1 has coefficient 0. Just look at this and look at that. The coefficient of these basic variables are 0 and 0 in the objective function. And now look at the system. Let me write the system for you once again here. You will find it easier to connect. Our system was x1 plus x2 plus s1 is equal to 1. Now it is not actually mandatory to write the system in this place. I am just going to show, I'm just going to trying to keep the system in front of you so that it helps you to construct this particular table. Now you see what I'm doing. Below these variables, I'm going to write their coefficients accordingly. So the first row means this one. First row of the table corresponds to first equation. Second row of the table corresponds to the second equation. In the first equation, that means in the first row, the x1 is having the coefficient 1, x2 is having the coefficient 1, s1 is having the coefficient 1, and there is no s2. So I'm going to write here 1, 1, 1, and 0. In the second one, the x1 is having the coefficient 3, x2 is having the coefficient 1, s1 is having no coefficient, s1 is absent, s2 is having the coefficient 1. So I'm going to put 3, 1, 0, 1. And now I'm going to tell you how to calculate this quantity Zj. The formula for calculating Zj is the following. We will consider the transpose of this CB and we'll multiply that by the respective column. Say whatever column we have, xj. What do we mean by this? This means, look at the CB. CB is what? CB is a kind of matrix. If you know the matrix, this is a kind of matrix form. It is a column 0, 0. Column wise it is written. We are going to take the transpose of this. And xj is also a kind of column. Here we have, say, what should I write? xj1, and here I'm writing xj2. That means what we are getting, the transpose of the matrix takes the form this. So row becomes column and column becomes row in matrix transposition. And this I'm going to write in the same manner as it is. So how many columns are there? Here in this particular row, there are 2 rows, 1 row and 2 columns. Number of row is 1. This is 1 row and 2 columns are there. And here in this case, in the second one, there are 2 rows and 1 column. So obviously this matrix can be multiplied and that would be a number. This matrix multiplication would be a number. So how do we multiply this matrix? We multiply it in the following manner. We write 0 into xj1 plus 0 into xj2. 0 into xj2. Now we are going to apply this formula. We are going to apply this formula in the zj. Now you just look at this. My CB is fixed, CBT is fixed, which is 0, 0 over here. My column xj, this column will vary. For the first one, it is 1, 3. For the second one, it is 1, 1. For the third one, it is 1, 0. For the fourth one, it is 0, 1. For the first one, we are going to multiply the column 1, 3 by 0, 0. For the second one, we are going to multiply column 1, 1 by 0, 0. For the third one, we are going to multiply the column 1, 0 by 0, 0. For the fourth one, we are going to multiply the column 0, 1 by 0, 0. Just look at the formula. We are going to write 0 into 1 plus 0 into 3. So the value is 0. 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1. The value is 0. 0 into 1 plus 0 into 0. The value is 0. 0 into 0 plus 0 into 1. The value is 0. So we have calculated all the ZJs using this formula. And ZJ minus CJ is quite simple. That means we are going to subtract each CJ from its corresponding ZJ. So look at this column, the first column, this means this one. ZJ is 0, CJ is 2. The value will be minus 2. In the second column, ZJ is 0, CJ is 3. Value will be minus 3. In the third column, ZJ is 0, CJ is 0. Value is 0. In the fourth column, ZJ is 0, CJ is 0. Value is 0. And my construction is complete. My table is complete. Have you understood? Up to this, you have understood how have I constructed. To take your time, just go through the details that I have shown over here. Make sure that you are comfortable, and then I'm going to proceed.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, ZZ, CZ, sir, that line can you explain again?
Which one? Which one?
The last line. Minus 2 minus 3.
ZJ minus
minus
CJ.
2 minus 3.
Yeah. ZJ minus CJ. So these are the values of ZJ. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And corresponding values of CJs are 2, 3, 0, 0. If I want to calculate ZJ minus CJ, this quantity for the column, first column, ZJ is having the value 0. CJ is having the value 0. So ZJ minus CJ will be 0 minus 2, which is minus 2. For the second column, it is 0 minus 3, that is minus 3. For third column, it is 0 minus 0, that is 0. For the fourth column, it is 0 minus 0, that is 0.
Sir, can you please explain the formula?
How it is coming?
Which one? Which one is coming? ZJ is this. ZJ is coming by this formula. I am multiplying this matrix. If you consider this to be a matrix, it is written column wise. Just look at this. Just look at this. I'm highlighting. This is column. I am taking this column 0, 0, 0, 0 column CB. But column cannot multiply a column. Matrix multiplication rule is that if the number of columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix, two matrices can be multiplied. Here, with respect to the table, for our sake of constructing the table, we have considered this as column, but it is, if you can keep them as column while multiplying, we cannot. So we have taken the transpose of this. Now, in transpose, what happens? Matrix transposition, what do we mean by this? Rows becomes column and column becomes rows. So this column matrix will become a row matrix. How many rows are there in this matrix? Only one row, only one horizontal line. How many columns are there in this matrix? Two columns are there, two vertical lines. So number of row in this column is 1, number of row in this column in this matrix is 1, and number of column in this matrix is 2. And that will be multiplied by the corresponding matrix, which is the column vector present beneath the variables, each of the variables. 4 column vectors are there. This is 1 column vector, this is 1 column vector, this is 1 column vector, this is 1 column vector. So in general, I have written xj because I am writing the formula. So xj, first value of xj is xj1, second value of xj is xj2. Now, if this
It
is
will
the
be S1 and S2 normally.
normally S1 and S2, not S1 and S2, these values, this is the column vector, name of the values. For the first column, okay, I'm writing over here, just so it's showing you something. Suppose I want to calculate this 0. How do we find it? CBT multiplied by x1. So I am multiplying this row by this 1, 1, 3, this column, and I am getting 0 into 1 plus 0 into 3, which is 0. If I want to multiply, say for example, this 0, so I will write CBT into x2. What is x2? Here CBT is 0, 0, and x2 is this column 1, 1. So I am getting 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1, which is 0. In this manner, for S1, I have calculated the same thing. For S2, I have calculated the same thing. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Like this way, other 3 are coming.
Other 3 are coming. Yeah. All of them are zeros because here this matrix is 0. Therefore, everything is becoming 0. Can I proceed? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Until and unless you say
Yes,
that,
sir.
yeah, you can proceed.
Yes,
I cannot.
sir.
Yes, yes. So that is the thing. Now, the rule says that, listen to me very carefully. If in the Zj minus Cj row, that means I'm talking about this row, all the elements are non-negative, means either 0 or positive. That is either 0 or positive. We will say optimal solution is reached, and we will stop. We will stop. But if at least one value in Zj minus Cj is negative, we will construct the next simplex table. Simplex table. Just quickly copy this particular line, because I'm going to omit because it has become so clumsy over here. This portion you quickly copy. What I'm saying is that if in the Zj minus Cj row, that means in this row, if all the elements are either 0 or positive, I don't have to construct simplex table 2. But if at least one member of this particular row is negative, at least one means one or more than that, is negative, then we have to construct simplex table 2. So at this stage, we can decide whether we are going to construct simplex table 2 or not. Whether simplex table 2 is required or not, that is now will be clear to us. Without constructing Zj minus Cj, we cannot say, without calculating Zj minus Cj, we cannot say whether the subsequent simplex tables will be required or not. So I want to omit this line. Can I?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
If in the Zj minus Cj row, all the elements are non-negative, that is either 0 or positive, we will say optimal solution is reached, and we will stop. But if at least one value in Zj minus Cj is negative, we will construct the next simplex table. Okay. Now you see, in this Zj minus Cj row, in this row, we not only have one negative number, but two negative numbers are there. So in this particular problem, simplex table 2 is required. Now, what is the objective of constructing simplex table 2s? What we want to do? We have some problem with S1 and S2. So we need to eliminate these variables S1 and S2, whichever is applicable, from this particular basic variable column. We want to eliminate them, and in their position, we need to bring our original set of variables. We need to bring over here. So that is our objective. So suppose two boys, these are two students. Okay, they are sitting over here. Now I want to bring one of these variables into their position. That means what? That means this position needs to be emptied. I want to throw one of the variables out and bring a new variable into its position. Okay, so how can this be done? First of all, I'm writing over here. I do not have space in this page. What we need to do is that we want to find a variable which will enter into the basic variable column. And we want to remove a variable from the basic variable column at the same time. That is our objective. Okay, the variable which will enter into the basic variable column now will be termed as entering variable. The variable which will enter will be called entering variable, and the variable which will depart from the basic variable column will be called departing variable. Question is how to find them out. Now I'm going to talk about this one, how to find the entering variable. process is identify the least negative number out of all negative numbers in Zj minus Cj, then corresponding variable is entering variable. Corresponding variable is entering variable. Identify the least negative number out of all negative numbers in Zj minus Cj, then corresponding variable is entering variable. I'll come back to this particular page, but let me talk about what I'm going to do over here at this point. Just look at the negative numbers which are present over here, -2 and -3. Can you tell me which one of them is the least negative? I mean, whether -2 or -3?
-3.
-3. Okay. So we will put a mark over here like this, and which means this variable x2 is my entering variable. So here x2 will enter into the column xb or b, not xb, b, column b. Okay, no problem. But where x2 is ready to move into the next column, and in the next simplex table it is ready to move into the basic variable column, but where all the positions are getting occupied by s1 and s2. So someone must leave some space for x2 to come. How to find out the departing variable then? So the process is, now I'm going to talk about this. The process is to find the departing variable, we need to calculate minimum positive ratio, whose formula is given by xb by pivot column. So what is pivot column then? xb by pivot column. What is pivot column? That is a big question. Pivot column is the column which corresponds to entering variable. I'm coming back to this page, but first of all, let me identify the pivot column. Column corresponding to the entering variable is my pivot column. So this is my pivot column. This column is my pivot column. So here 1 1, this column beneath x2 is pivot column. Now look at your matrix in the table. In the table, your xb, in the column xb, we had 1 and 4. In the pivot column, that is beneath x2, we had 1 and 1. We want to calculate minimum positive ratio, that is xb divided by x2, that is xb by pivot column. What we are going to do? We are going to calculate it in the following manner. the value of xb, for the first row, the value of xb will be divided by the value of x2. In the second one, the value of xb will be divided by value of x2. xb by x2, whose value is 1. Here its value is 4. And we want to find the minimum positive ratio. Minimum positive ratio. Minimum positive ratio. This ratio is a positive ratio. This is a positive value. This is a positive value. Which one is the minimum? This is the minimum one. This is the minimum positive ratio. So the variable corresponding to minimum positive ratio is our departing variable. Departing variable. So just look at the simplex table. In the simplex table, in the basic variable column, we had S1 and we had S2 in simplex table 1. Minimum positive ratio is this one. So my departing variable is this one, S1. So S1 will leave, and in place of S1, X2 will enter. So we have got our entering variable, we have got our departing variable. And the row containing the departing variable is the pivot row. Just like pivot column contains the entering variable, pivot row contains the departing variable. I'll come back to this page. Let me identify the pivot row over here. Let me show you. So this row is my pivot row. This row is my pivot row, the red one. The red one is pivot row. The green one is pivot column. So everything has been identified. We are ready to construct simplex table 2. We know that the simplex table 1 didn't contain the optimal solution. We know that in simplex table 2, which one is going to be the entering variable, and in simplex table 2, which one is going to be in simplex table 1, which one is going to be the departing variable. Everything is now known, so we are in a position to construct the simplex table 2. And the construction is actually another phase of complicacy. Construction of simplex table 2 is having another phase of complicacy. I mean, if you are not comfortable with this, you have to be very careful. Bolo, Shumanto.
স্যার পিভট রোটা আপনি মার্ক করলেন, ওখানে xb টা কেন নিলেন না?
নিতেই পারো, নো প্রবলেম, পুরোটাই হবে। I don't want to do anything about it.
মানে cb xb এটাও ইনক্লুড করতে পারি?
হ্যাঁ, sure, no problem with that. You can include that also. You can then if you want to include xb, I mean, if you want to let me moderate this one. Yeah, That is my pivot row. And this,
আচ্ছা, এটা কি
bolo, bolo, bolo.
আপনি কন্টিনিউ করছিলেন করুন।
No, no, why you are going to ask me something? This is pivot row.
আমি বলছিলাম এইটা কি ফর্মুলাই xb বাই পিভট রো, এটা একটা স্পেসিফিক ফর্মুলা।
Formula.
এই ফর্মুলাটা ধরেই
Exactly.
এই ফর্মুলাটা ধরেই ওই রেশিওটা বের হবে, তাই তো?
একদম. This is a specific formula.
আচ্ছা,
I'm not containing in the pivot row, I'm not containing 0 and S1 because this will not contribute in the calculation. In the calculation, this will contribute. So this entire table, this forms the table actually. This is the part of the table which contains the numerical values. So this entire portion is the pivot row and this portion is the pivot column. And can I go to the next page? I mean, I don't know how students are writing. So in the next session, I'm going to take the attendance. Yes, tell me.
Sir, how the pivot column is determined?
Look at this paragraph 1. Pivot column is that column. Oh, I have not written it, na? Okay. Let me write. Thank you so much. Let me mention it. Pivot column. Oh, I have written it. You see here. Just look at this line. This one, pivot column. The column which corresponds to entering variable. That is called the pivot column. So my entering variable was x2 and x2 was situating in this column. So this becomes my pivot column. Departing variable is this one. This is my departing variable. It is situated in this row. So this is my pivot row. Now you can take a screenshot of this particular page. I will be able to write only one line in the next page because my time is running out. In the next session, I'll be able to continue. So let me write one sentence which is important. The intersection of pivot column and pivot row, the intersection pivot column and pivot row is called pivot number. It's called pivot number. Now look at the table. These two blocks intersect at which point? Here. They intersect at this point. So my pivot number is pivot number is 1. Pivot number will play an important role in constructing simplex table 2. I am stopping here right. Let's wait for the next session to begin.